It's been more than a year since a pickup truck barreled through closed streets just before the Grand Floral Parade kicked off.
And thankfully, no one was hurt. But today, the driver behind the wheel was back in court. Our Carly Olson was there this afternoon and joins us now live tonight. Carly, what can you tell us?
Well, Pete and Nora, today, Meekum was sentenced to 5 years in prison after changing his plea to guilty on many of the charges in the indictment, including several counts of unlawful use of a weapon and recklessly endangering another person. He also personally addressed the court to talk about his own reflections about that day, as well as the work he says he's doing to become a better person.
Out of the way! Out of the way! What is this guy doing?
Terror and chaos broke out at the Grand Floral Parade more than a year ago when Meekum drove into the parade route, sending spectators running for their lives. On Tuesday, the state spoke for the victims, who chose not to make statements during the proceedings.
But for many people, the memories of this day will remain. This was a terrifying event for attenders of the Grand Floral Parade.
Before Judge Christopher Marshall handed down his sentence, Meekum himself chose to address the court, saying his actions on June 11, 2023 were caused by reckless decision-making and pain, as he had lost his niece the night before.
I caused fear to hundreds of children and their family. I acted on impulse. I want you to know that I'm ashamed of my actions, and I'm truly sorry for all the pain and fear that I've caused to the families and the city of Portland.
Meekum says he plans to take anger management and cognitive thinking classes during his time in prison. Judge Marshall sentenced him to 60 months in prison, or 5 years, with many sentences being served concurrently and other charges being dismissed by the state as a result of Meekum's plea change.
I'm confident as a judge with the court that you're sincere in your words there. It's another example of mental health and how important that is to human beings, and how everyone's mental health needs to be addressed because it so affects other people.
Following Meekum's 5-year prison sentence, he will also receive an additional 5 years of post-prison supervision. Also today, I did approach some victims who showed up to the courtroom, but they declined to comment at this time. Reporting live in downtown Portland, Carly Olson, Fox 12.